Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Mike from Clan NoTac, and I'm bringing you a couple of videos that have been on my hard drive for a while. A lot of clanmates were asking, what's a great, efficient way to raid? Naturally, I point them to play Clash of Clans, because Chief Pet has a really good and cheap and effective farming strategy. But I thought a couple examples would really help my clanmates out. Moreover, I actually found a new variant on Chief Pat's strategy involving Valkyries that's very powerful and highly effective. Not to mention it cuts down training time by about a margin of 6 minutes, 8 minutes or so, and we'll discuss that. And finally, we have a great air raid from clanmate named Sly Death, who is a championship league player, and we'll get to all that in a moment. So first up, we have we've got a typical pump mine raid with a twist. A lot of this stuff is protected, so to really get all the resources, you have to hit pretty much every angle in this base, which is not exactly easiest to do with the farming party, because wiping a base is not really the intent, rather getting the loot is. So I start off with an archer in the top and my goblins picking up the rest. I was trying to get my goblins to tank because goblins are much cheaper than giants. They're like, what, 100 elixir and giants are 2,500 or so? Somewhere around there. You can argue maybe I used too many goblins to tank, but it doesn't really matter. This is still an effective raid. And as you see there, I got my goblins to distract. Well, that wall breaker slipped in. Heroes are always kind of a bit of a distraction for any targets, troop such as an archer. But nevertheless, my goblins just go in, clear that out. I'm about to polish off the west wing in a second. It's kind of hard to slip my archers in there because there was just some distractions in point defense. If you took down that army camp, it would have been all easier. They shoot over their backs, but no problem. We'll go ahead and slowly stream them in. It's good not to drop them all in one spot because wizard towers will absolutely fry goblins. So, thinking of my next move, it's obvious I got some more pumps to do here. So I start by getting those goblins to distract that Tesla, get a wall breaker in, lay down a giant, because at this point, with splash damage, you really should get giants to tank it. And Teslas are a pretty nasty point defense. Giants do much better tanking them, obviously. So once that compartment opens up and that Tesla is down, I go ahead and just have my archers to back up my goblins and sneak that elixir right out, no problem. I'll let my archers finish and die down up there. Obviously, I just distract, get some wall breakers in, and some goblins to distract, along with some archers to take out that Tesla. Once I get in there, I easily take that out. Finally, we have one last compartment left, and I drop my Archer Queen up top, because as you know, Archer Queen is the best range in the game, so she'll remain untouched while she cleans off that town hall. Her range is really what's her most useful asset, hands down. Got some clan castle troops, and I had enough resources, thankfully, to distract and polish off that last compartment. It's a good thing I had some giants left offhand. That's why I try to hold on to them if I can. And I pretty much wrap this up. So no problem there. I had about 330,000 in resources and some trophies. That never hurts. Okay, the next raid is one regarding Expos. Some people had some questions about Expos, and my clan leader, K10, had a good point. Healing pretty much negates Expos. They're a nasty point defense, but at level 1, not as much, and even then, with some healing, they're always negated. Obviously, if all the point defense is on you, an Expo is going to be a lot harder hitting, but healing just completely negates it, and you'll see that in a moment. As a disclosure, I got lucky with this raid. I didn't check for that clan castle, but nothing was in it, so it worked out. So I go ahead and just deploy giants on either side, get those two compartments open so I can get a path to the middle. My wall breakers open that up, and I drop 2 healing spells. As you can see, those Expos are completely occupied. There's no way for them to get to my troops now. So I just deploy clan castle, the rest of my troops. Goblin's going to open that wall. And this brings me to another point. I was trying to go for elixir mainly in this raid, and someone had the folly of putting all their resources, or the majority of their resources, in one compartment. That is always a poor strategy, because all it takes, at worst, is to breach one compartment, and the resources of my choosing, worse yet, all the resources, are available to me. I could have dropped a jump spell and easily got more gold, but I was only after elixir. And the point is, I even had dark elixir as well, thanks to them putting all their resources in one compartment. So that's always something to be very careful with. I know the center are basically the toughest to get, but it's really a pro and con, like everything else in this game. So that was good. 400,000 plus raid. Here's a good little snapshot of my base. I can show you, basically, although all bases have their pros and cons, you can see with mine, at the very least, it employs one good golden rule. I've got a lot of those storages in multiple wings and compartments. You could definitely nitpick it, criticize it, and that's fine, but the bottom line is the generics are there. Basically, wizard towers protect the loot's in different compartments. The toughest loot is in the center, and I mean, although the center is equidistant in any branch you take, the good news is you can only deploy all your forces in one direction, and you might be able to breach my center and get my dark elixir at worst, but my other resources are going to probably remain untouched because all your troops will be expended trying to get to my center. Okay, so let's go to a third one. This raid is pretty cool. I came up with a new strategy. I was thinking, Valkyries are a really nice troop. They're really underused. And I think they're actually better than Giants. They got more HP, they're stronger, and they're much faster. Moreover, it takes 8 troop slots per Valkyrie. A spring trap needs, or rather, can only throw up to 15 housing spaces, meaning 3 Giants, which is devastating. You've been there, you know what happens. If a spring trap hits 2 Valkyries, I believe it's only going to toss 1 Valkyrie, because 2 Valkyries are 16 housing cost, while 3 Giants are 15 housing cost. So, the excess it just can't toss, and I believe that's what happens in this raid. We'll look at that in a minute. So this is standard, like a go-wipe strategy. I basically open up the base, try to open a path inside, and check this out with the Valkyries. Since they're any target troop, they go right to that Barb King and take them right out. That's a very powerful asset, because anyone who's had Giants only and failed to clear a clan castle will know how quick that raid will fail. So they're really handy. As you can see, the Valkyries start to tank here. I believe that spring trap may have had a Valkyrie on it, leading to as to why 1 Giant was tossed, or maybe 1 Giant hit it, I don't know. But anyway, that's worth looking. Those Valkyries will start tanking everything and shredding the fences and walls. And as you can see, that Goblin has a much easier time getting through, because those Valkyries tore up a lot of those walls. So the Goblins come in, and I believe the main gist of this raid was the gold and some elixir. The Valkyries go to the middle, and while that Tesla is still up, Valkyries, thankfully, are well disposed to take on Teslas. And you'll see they take out that Tesla, and they clear out that dark elixir, which is great. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got dark elixir, which is not my goal. I usually avoid it, because you can't really not get it as a Town Hall 9. And I try to get that last storage. It doesn't work out. I just wanted to test. I just exited a raid while I could. It was really worthless. So that's an interesting variant. If you throw in 4 Valkyries at Town Hall 9 with, I think, 60 archers, 8 Giants, 8 wall breakers, and the rest Goblins, that's a fun farming strategy. I haven't seen anyone else use that, so we can claim that being a first for me. I have no title for it, but hey, if it helps you, great. So here's the last raid. This is from a clan member named Slydeth. He is a Championship League player. At the time, he wasn't in the Championship League, but he usually does air raids, and this was an interesting one. His point is to use balloons and minions. I think it's baloonian. And he throws in hogs as well. Let's see how that works. He starts by, just testing out, trying to make sure not to trip those air bombs on one spot. That's a big problem with balloons. That's why you spread them out. That'll shred you. Minions too. And obviously those lava hounds get deployed, tie up those air defenses. Those rage spells let those balloons just go berserk. And right behind them are minions and dragons, which are great. So layer by layer, he effectively rips this base apart in a matter of minutes, and it's just great. I mean, although it is a very costly raiding party, it's a good one, and you can definitely get trophies and loot with this. As you can see, this guy nearly has a 900,000k raid here, so it's really justified the cost. So this is a really good setup, and I thought, this was excellent execution by Slide Death. I had to post this one on here. That'll do it. Like I said, about 900,000 with Dark Elixir, and hope you guys enjoyed watching these videos. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy clashing. Thank you.